welcome back to the second video of getting started with basic finance. I'm going to go into the topic of credit cards today. So in the first video, we kind of touched upon that a little bit, but today we're going to go a little bit deeper into, someone who's just getting started with their credit history or has poor credit history, and kind of how to build up your credit and then get into the beginning and mid-range of the credit cards game, because I think of it kind of like a game. But you have to be careful. It's not for everybody. So yeah. All right. So the first topic is for people who are just getting started, have no credit history, or are just building credit. If you are below 18 years old or around 18 and you have parents with good credit history, the first thing I would advise is ask them, can they put you as an authorized user on one of their existing cards? This will automatically give you a leg up on everyone else, because the credit history that they have will be reflected on your credit history going forward. And also, the total limit that they have on that card will also count towards your total debt limit. And so automatically you might have a really high limit at the age of 18, but it's not even your credit card. So these things, as mentioned before in my previous video, will help build your credit score, as they're large portions of how that score is calculated. And so the length of the history, how much debt is able to be taken out, and then on-time payments. So of course, you don't want to get put on a credit card of someone who has a poor history, so just keep that in mind. So now once you kind of have a little bit of a history through that method, you'll want to go open up your first credit card. This applies to the Chase Freedom Unlimited, many student cards from Discover, and Capital One. So I would personally start with Chase. I think they have some great cards and it's a great starting point. However, let's say you did not do the method of being an authorized user on someone else's credit card. You're going to want to open a secured credit card. This is kind of like a debit card in a way, because you need to put up the money for that credit limit, whatever you want it to be. Let's say you give the bank $1,000, they will give you a credit limit of $1,000. And so the bank doesn't take any risk, but you now can start building credit. And so this is a good way for people to start out or build credit. And so I did this, many other people have done this. So once you've built up a credit score for some months or a year, 2 years, you can go open that Freedom Unlimited, or maybe a Capital One venture, etc. Hopefully you might have like a part-time job, or if you're a student, there's a lot of good student cards, because those will just kind of get you into the game. You want to start off with a no annual fee card, because you're going to keep that card open forever. So the reason you're going to do that is because of the credit length. That's going to be hugely important to your credit score, and you will keep that card open for decades. So just keep that in mind. So that's why I say maybe go with a bigger bank that'll be around in like 20 years, but also to have a no annual fee card, because you don't want to be paying an annual fee for 20 years. So once you've started, you've gotten a no annual fee card, you have a decent limit, you've built up some credit, you can move on to opening another one. Again, this is all with the idea that you are not actually spending all the money on your limit every month. You're paying it off on time. You're paying it off before the statement date, which is a different date from the due date. The statement date is when your credit is reported to the credit agencies. So this will play into how much of your credit you're using, your credit utilization. This is also a large part of your credit score calculation. So you want to always keep that under 30%. So if you have a $1,000 limit on that secured card, never spend more than $300 before a statement close date or a payment due date, because that is when it is reported. So let's say you did actually spend maybe $500 on the card. Go pay it down before that statement due date to maybe $200. So now what's reported is $200 instead of that $500. And showing that you have some money spent on the card, but not over 30%, is sometimes more beneficial than just having zero, because it shows that you can handle that amount of potential credit, right? Okay, so now you've got those bases covered. We're gonna go open a rewards card. So now you can finally start kind of playing the credit card game, getting points, getting free travel, all of the stuff you see online and on TV and all these influencers, that's a lot of the ways that they're able to fly first class or get fancy hotels, cool perks. And so now you'll start, let's say you went the Chase route. You got the Freedom Unlimited. Now you'll get the Sapphire Preferred. It's $95 annual fee. Don't worry, you will get your value for it. So usually the sign-up bonus at the low end is 60 to the high end of 90,000 points. Those points are very valuable. If you have a Sapphire Preferred, you'll get 1.25 times redemption value when redeeming through the Chase portal. So this could be for flights, hotels, etc. But with Chase points and American Express points as well, you can transfer these to airlines, hotels, to get better value. So like, let's say you were getting 1 cent of value per point. If you transferred it, maybe you could get 3, 4, 5, 6. And so this could lead to you getting like a business class ticket from like New York to London for maybe 30,000 points, which if you redeemed it through the Chase portal would be like $300 in value, or like $350 in value, right? So now you're getting a flight that costs thousands of dollars potentially for like a hypothetical $300 value. And in conjunction, now you have that Freedom Unlimited and the Sapphire Preferred. The Freedom Unlimited used to get you cash back, but now it earns points, and the multipliers are also important. You'll see 4x on gas or 4x on groceries on a lot of cards. So these are how many points you'll get per dollar. And so on Freedom Unlimited, the multipliers is what these are called, are actually better. So what you'll do is you'll have these two cards, but you'll pretty much never use your Sapphire Preferred unless you're buying flights or hotels. Other than that, you use that Freedom Unlimited, you'll get more points, and it all goes to the same place. You'll have Chase points for all of this. And so this is kind of how you get started in the game. Of course, you only get these bonus points, the 60 to 90,000 intro bonus, if you spend a certain amount. It's usually $4,000 on that card. So don't open the card without knowing in advance that you'll be able to spend it in the time frame they give you, usually 3 months. For a student, this might be paying tuition, which you were otherwise going to pay in cash or with a check. You might as well do it with the card, get the points, and now you can take a free trip. So this is kind of the baseline of how you start. And then, once you have these cards, you've built your credit, you're out of college, or you didn't go to college and you are just working, you can actually go get loans. Without a credit history, you are not able to really qualify for a loan, even if you had a good job. There's people who are making over $1 million a year who struggle to get a mortgage or a car loan just because they have no history. So credit cards are one portion of that. But you could also, now that you've built a credit history, go get a mortgage or go get a car loan. This will help make your credit score more robust. Even if, let's say, you could pay for the car in cash, it might be more beneficial to finance if you get a really low rate. Of course, in today's environment, it's kind of high. I wouldn't advise it, but these help to build a more robust credit score. And so in the future, you want to buy a house, you want to get a mortgage, it all starts with that first credit card. You might not be thinking about that now, but it's really important to start early. And of course, be safe. Do not overspend. Just because you have a high credit limit does not mean you should use it. In the next few videos, I will go over kind of the later game. I will go over also like different card issuers, American Express, Capital One, Discover. I'm not really a big fan of Discover. And then you have all the bank cards. So you have like Chase, Bank of America, and others, and like Citi. So those are some places to start. We'll go into more detail in the coming weeks. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.